And so actually, folks, because we know 2 Peter was written somewhere in the time of 60 A.D., which for those folks, from the time Jesus appeared until 2 Peter was written, was a lifetime. Because you remember, they didn't have the longevity span of life that we have. So if someone was sitting around waiting, if they heard the gospel word in their 20s, 30s, and then 60 years, 70 years later, it hasn't happened yet, you would begin to wonder too, if I said, soon, very soon. I don't know, almost like those scriptures. Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Hallelujah now. So you start getting jazzed up, soon and very soon. And then you keep singing that song through 10 verses. And the soon starts to wear down. And by the time you hit 20 verses, you're singing like this. Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King. Hallelujah now. Now the pep kind of goes out of it, doesn't it? And so 2 Peter wanted the folks to understand God has not had a change of plans without informing us. Jesus Christ is going to come and return. And God, who has been patient with us, actually calls us to be patient. And God doesn't just call us to be patient. God actually also calls us to continue to live in righteousness and the way that Christian folk have been seeing in the example of Jesus Christ. And so even this year, it seems like Christmas is really taking its time coming. Or maybe for some of you, it's coming too fast. 2 Peter is a great affirmation of this relationship and of anticipation. The waiting. Because sometimes the waiting is excruciating. Sometimes the waiting really, really is excruciating. This one story I want to share with you, and it really happened. You know that in the process of becoming a United Methodist clergy person, now it's become about a 10-year process. And throughout that 10 years, there are lots of academic training you have to have. But at the end of the process, one of the last steps is to write your papers, which amount to probably 50, 60, 70 pages. Go before a group, and it's kind of like the Great Inquisition. You sit down, and they start doing a round robin of asking you questions. Theological questions, life questions, applying God to your life, spiritual questions, questions of all nature. You get that questioning, and then you go home, and you wait. And when you're at home, you're waiting for a phone call, a letter, a something. And so during my time of going through that process, I was living in Lynchburg. I'd done the interviews in Blackstone, Virginia. I returned home to wait, and the last thing the Board of Ministry said was, you'll get a card or a call. And so I did my interviews on a Wednesday. I was excited. I was hopeful. I was just wanting to know if I made the cut. Did I make it? Did I give the right answers? Did I reveal that I am somehow worthy? I am worthy. I am worthy. Well, you know, I really wanted to know. And so I did my interviews on Wednesday or so. In addition to losing my microphone here, give me 1 second in the sound booth. Turn that down while I fish it out, okay? Pardon me, folks. I didn't plan to go on an expedition this morning. Okay. And so, I waited and I waited from Wednesday. Wednesday night came and went, and Thursday morning came, and I got more anxious. Thursday afternoon came and went, and I was more anxious. Friday morning came, and I was more anxious, because all I wanted to know was whether I had passed or not. Whether this would be the year that they would say, you have completed successfully your ordination trip. You know, even if they didn't just send somebody to the house, I thought the least they could do was call me on the phone and do one of those Asian things. Well done, grasshopper. You know, something. But Friday came and went. And my anxiety went off the charts. And I started to think all of the worst thoughts. All of my answers was wrong. They discovered that I'm not even Christian, no less. And so finally I thought, I gotta have an answer. I've got to have an answer. So I started thinking about all the people who were on those committees interviewing me. And I started dialing numbers. Now I'm saying push buttons, but you know, at that time we were still with the rotary phone. I started dialing numbers. Did I pass? Did I pass? Well, Ted, I can't tell you. Call the next one. Did I pass? Did I pass? Well, Ted, good news, but I can't tell you the answer. Next one. Did I pass? And finally, about the 10th phone call, I dial this guy's number, and I say, now listen to me. I don't want no stalling. I can't stand this anymore. I'm going crazy here. All I want to know is, did I pass? And he said, you need to calm down. He said, I can tell in your voice that you're really having a hard time with this waiting thing, aren't you? Just waiting. And I said, yes. I've gone beyond reason. He said, well then, I'm not supposed to, but I will at least relieve you by telling you, you not only passed, but you did very well. And the person who was supposed to call you may simply have forgotten. He said, but you're done. You did well. And so I hung up, and a few seconds later, the phone rings. Oh, Ted, I'm so sorry. I was supposed to call you 4 days ago. The waiting, folks, is what we're doing here. The anticipation through the Advent season. The expectation of Christ being born. Because this begins for the Christian year, for the Christian and for the Christian season, something extraordinary. Christ will come. God will come in the form of a child. Emmanuel, Jesus. And he will be born as a child. But what happens after that is even more incredible. And all we have to do, all that 2 Peter actually asks of us, is to be patient and to create an environment where righteousness is at home. If you thought it was tougher before, get this. What 2 Peter comes at is that you and I keep living faithfully so that righteousness will be comfortable in our midst. That's what we're at.